Well, hello there. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. You are on the lifeboat. Welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. I'm a little yawny still, but I slept wonderfully. I wonder what the heck's going on. But whatever. I mean, yawns are regular. Maybe I just need more oxygen. Happy Sunday, y'all. Layla Bradley, Davey, Barbie. What's going on, guys? Kristen, Shannon, Shelly Kelly, Brazy Girl, Miradira. Hello there. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday, guys. Rick Smith, always a pleasure, sir. What's going on, Ben Bacon Bits? Welcome in. Pajama Pixie. Happy Sunday to you as well. Mara. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Patty, what's going on? Gemini Girl and Becca Jean. What's going on, y'all? Want to pull out this this trophy for Becca Jean real quick. I don't know if she's still here. It's her bedtime, but let's find out where it is. Winning the last step off all drugs except pot. Good for you. Good for you. It's a big deal. It's a big, big deal. Yeah, I am a little tired today, and I don't know why. I shouldn't be. I slept pretty darn well. I live for now. What's going on? Danielle McCoy. West Coast Fancy Nancy. I haven't seen the other Fancy Nancy in a while. That's interesting. Kind of funny. Yeah, guys, this morning I went on this really weird rabbit hole of corruption, I guess is what I would call it. I started watching videos about this thing called street cops training. It's like a seminar that cops go to. And I don't have like a bunch of information on it. I just watched a video, but man, the things that were said in this seminar were barbarous. They were astounding. It was astounding. They were basically teaching unconstitutional behavior for traffic stops and whatnot. It was more of it had like a frat vibe for sure. They were making wiener jokes and really made me stoked about my taxpayer dollars paying for the whole thing, and my taxpayer dollars, XYZ, this, that, and the other. And then I continued to watch more corruption videos about copper mines in Arizona, Oak Top, and Apache land, and land swaps and lobbying and all kinds of corrupt stuff going on. And it made me think there's this one video game I played. I think it was a Call of Duty game, but I'm not sure. In this game, there was this satellite that you could kind of like point out something on the planet or whatever, right? And the satellite would drop like a steel beam from orbit directly on what you had targeted, and it was like it would level buildings. It was a pretty cool little tool in this video game. But makes me want to use that thing for good. But that's neither here nor there. That's not my purpose here. But those kind of things really hurt my heart, Those kind of things really make me mad. Really make me mad. My taxpayer dollars shouldn't be paying for a cop frat party seminar, That's ridiculous. And paying for allegedly when settlements are reached in court between a citizen and a law enforcement officer, when the citizen is settled with, when the government pays a citizen to not litigate against poor work by the state, they use taxpayer dollars to do that in large sums to pay their way out of trouble. They use our money. This morning has started in a very particular way, and I wish I could rewind the clock and watch different videos this morning. I tell you what, I should have journaled instead of watching those videos, 100%. Now I'm going to reap the rewards of that decision. That's okay. I'll make it. Debbie P, good morning. Welcome in. I see your question. I'll get right back to it. I promise. Love it. Love to see you. Body illusion. How you doing? How you doing? Lisa Trimble. Is Spanx time the same as Island time? You know, sometimes I try not to, but I mean, you seem to have my number dialed, Lisa. You have found me out. I try to be punctual. It's something I'm working on, but I think what has happened is a while, way back, I put up a poll and I was like, do you guys want to do the weekend shows at 8 a.m. So that we can sleep in a little? And it was a resounding yes from the poll. But I immediately got sick the next weekend. So we only did that for one day. And then I've started doing weekends at 8 a.m. and not saying anything ever since. So I think there was just something missed in communication. On the weekends, I intentionally start an hour later to give everybody, well, mostly to give myself an extra hour, to be honest. But I feel like it's right. It's what we deserve on the weekend. We deserve a little extra relax, right? I did not spend that extra hour in bed. Sometimes I do. Shannon Smith says, cops never know if they're coming home to their families. This is a valid point. I don't think that gives them free rein to break the law and do whatever they want and act like complete pigs. You know I love you, Lisa Trimble. It's all good. No worries. No worries at all. You are totally allowed to give me trouble and poke me and make fun. In fact, I enjoy it. I believe the Admiral's doing good. He's pretty stressed out. It's a lot. He has this amazing ability to take everything on at once and not like say anything about it, just like do it. And then it becomes, I have the same ability. It becomes something else. And by the time we speak up, it's far too late. So I'm not saying that's what's going on with him right now, but he definitely took on a lot and it's a lot to deal with. So he's doing a great job. I mean, from what I understand, yesterday they were closing up all kinds of business around town or whatever so that they could make the final move to, I believe, Tennessee. Today we're rocking the boat mode and I need more. I need more coffee in my body. But in short, Brazy, I think he's good. I think that he could use a day off, but nobody can make him take a day off. He has to decide for himself. It just kind of blew my mind, though. You know, the whole street cop thing and the strip mining and destroying towns and cultures bugs me. 100%. And I can share you guys the link. It was actually by a channel called let's look it up. Hold on. You can go to the Street Cops website. They just did their 2024 seminar, and I bet you money that they suppressed footage and phones and cameras this time around. I bet you money that there isn't footage from this year's. It happened, I believe, in May. Let's see if I can find the website. Streetcoptraining.com, guys. Check it out. From what I understand, there is constitutional violations on this website as well. I don't know if this is a good move or not, but we're going to go ahead and check it out. This guy right here, Dennis, I don't know how to say that name. This guy was saying so much outlandish stuff on the stage. Holy crap. All these guys were. It was wild. It was wild. And, you know, I'm not an expert. I'm just a citizen that's concerned. I'm just a regular guy that happened to watch some footage of the seminar and was deeply disturbed. Scooby Lee, I hope you have a good day. And drive safe. We love you, Scoob. Depression glass, what's that? Is that really sad glass? It's coming back up. Have tons from my grandma and investigating and learning. Wow, cool. Maybe I'll do a deep dive on that today instead of corruption. It'll leave me happier for sure. You know? Barbie says my daughter has some health issues and lost sight in one eye, so she's been staying with me. It's getting better now with steroids, but she will be with me for now. Wow, Barbie. Let's get some ones up for Barbie's daughter. I can't imagine losing sight in one eye. I mean, I guess I could close one and pretend, but like for that to be my reality, I can't imagine. Interesting glassware that was made in the Depression. Very, very curious. Absolutely, Pajama Pixie. I knew I could count on you to turn it positive. Pajama Pixie says, I'm with you on all that disturbing stuff, Spanx. It can weigh us down. And yes, we need to be aware. But it can hide the fact that there's so much good still in the world. Keep spewing love. That's right. I will. And, it's interesting. I feel like we're wired to remember bad stuff more than we are wired to remember good stuff. Maybe it's just an entirely different function in the brain for good and bad. But I'll use trust for an example. When you break someone's trust, it's very difficult to rebuild that trust because we always remember what had happened, right? What went wrong. It seems like that negativity impresses a deeper impression on the mind than the positive experiences that far outnumber the one moment you broke your trust, right? I'm sure everyone can relate with this. I know that this is not a unique thing to Michael. But that's not an accurate representation of the weight of these emotions. Good outweighs bad every time. That's how I feel. Very, very interesting. That is totally one of the things we do here is we spread connection, spew love. That is a crude way of saying it, but I like it. I like it. Rick Spicer, what's going on? Don't tip the boat. What are you talking about? My fourth bully with a badge. They stalked me, stole my car, robbed me. Well, Rick, I will have to say I don't really know. I'm not an expert, but I feel like the deck is stacked against us, regular people. Unless we have unless we have a Mary Poppins bag full of money and litigation resources, they definitely have the edge on us. But don't give up. I believe in you. The the only way to change these things is to call them on their stuff, right? Is to make legal action, because that's what they're doing. Fast forwarding to the mining thing that I was researching, right? What's happening is there's this place in Arizona called Superior, and there's this place in Arizona by Superior called Oak Top, and there's a bunch of copper in the ground about a mile deep. And this is protected land, or was protected land. Yes. Okay, I have my facts. It was protected land very recently, and they have been for years and years and years, many, many years, been trying to pass this bill, this land swap that would give, I wonder if I should say the company, the copper company. Now I can't remember their name. Maybe that's a good sign that I shouldn't say the name, but there's this copper company, copper mining company or whatever, that would give them full rights to mine there, this land swap. But what's going to happen is this mine is going to come up, and then the town of Superior is going to wither away. The jobs that they promise aren't going to last. They're going to leave what is called legs. They're going to leave all the waste, all the stuff they don't want. They're going to leave behind. If you drive around the country, you'll inevitably see these piles of waste. And it just looks like dirt, but what it is cancer-causing metals. It's stuff that, if left and not treated and not handled, will seep into the water supply and the ground. So it's going to kill this entire community, which also happens to be on an Apache reservation, I believe. But where was I going with this? Does anybody know what Mike's talking about? Because he doesn't. Oh, You know how they ended up getting the land swap to pass? Because it has been fought by the local community time and time and time again for years and years and years. Do you know how they finally got the land swap to go through? They slid it in a must pass, like 1,100 page fund the military bill. They slipped it in at the very end of a must pass military budget. So they said, look over here, and took what they wanted anyways. So I believe in this video I watched was from a month ago. So for all we know, they are block cave mining oak top as we speak. They could be. I don't know if they are or not, but the video I watched was from a month ago, and they certainly have the legal right to now. I'm super curious, super duper curious. They say copper is super important for the transition to green energy. Is it worth destroying communities and lives? Is it worth it? I don't think so. I don't think so. And honestly, if that's really what they were concerned with, they wouldn't be doing it like that anyway, right? If they were really concerned with making a green transition, they wouldn't be obliterating communities across the United States. Thanks for listening to me rant today, guys. I should do this more often. I like it. Get stuff off my chest. I'm going to scroll up a little and start chatting with you guys. Welcome in, CAG, Laura FM, Robin Miners. Much love, much love, much love. I don't know why I had to say it 3 times, but there you have it, folks. Nicola E., always a pleasure. We are wired to be aware of threats and keep ourselves safe. Wow, I'm really having some burps today. It doesn't always help us. That's true. It's a money thing. It's definitely a money thing. And it's curious, what initially enticed me about that video, it said something about the largest copper mine in the United States. And I was like, oh, they're talking about Kennecott, where I'm from. And that's not what it was. It's actually probably pretty close. I did not look up where Superior is, but I imagine it's not far from where I sit. So dangerous. I read this so wrong, Davey. I read I have a mace and a knife. Like you're dual wielding over here, but I now understand that you have a can of mace and a knife. Thought you were just running around with like a medieval weapon. Patty Collins, what's going on? What's going on? How you doing? Yeah, Pyrex is definitely not 25 cents anymore. Pyrex is that good stuff, that expensive. Is it slag, Cheryl? I couldn't think of the right name. I know that when you weld, what's left over, the byproduct is slag. I'm not sure about mining. Interesting, Shelly. Do you have active copper mines, or are they abandoned? And is Green Valley like a mining town? Something this video pointed out immediately was that these mining towns often look very poor, very run down, not well kept. Like, where did the money go? Like, once the money that the copper produced ran out, these towns were abandoned and left to die. It's so sad. Like, they basically, these corporations came in, did all this damage, and it took all of the resources, or most of them. Sometimes there was one case that says, I guess it was in San Manuel or something like that. They left 30 years of copper in the ground and shut it down anyways. All these people that had been promised jobs for 40 years or whatever were out of luck. It's wild, super wild. Water mixes with these piles and it eats out the bottom of traffic signs and fences. Interesting. If it's eating out the bottom of traffic signs and fences, what's it doing to the inside of our bodies when it gets in the water? Apparently, these places have higher cancer rates, is what I was reading as well. Cesium's that stuff that makes you seize. Not really. I don't know what cesium is, but it sounds bad. LKF said, interesting. That is definitely not what they do here. They leave big craters in the ground and just walk away, and they leave all the byproducts just sitting there rotting, poisoning. Now, I think I might be mixing my videos up. I might have watched a third video that I'm forgetting about. I did, actually. I watched a video about search and seizures and the ATF. This is probably the first one I watched, which is probably why I forgot, but maybe I won't speak on it because I'm forgetting all the information. But this search and seizure search warrant was no-knock search warrant was done on a man's house. He was asleep with his wife or whatever, and 10 vehicles, all like in SWAT gear and whatnot. And they kick the door and no knock, right? So the guy wakes up, grabs a firearm, and goes to investigate. Tells the wife to stay in the bedroom. Wife does not listen, is very curious. They go out onto the landing, the second story landing, like above the stairs, and they're looking into the darkness. The ATF cut the power to the house and then kicked the door in. So the ATF standing in their little entryway, just like kind of standing there, and these homeowners can like make out like kind of silhouettes. And dude lets off some warning shots around the feet, and they just plug him in the head, kill him right there. No words exchanged. And I have to say, like, what is your natural response when you wake up to like crashing booms in your house in the middle of the night? Your house is usually well lit at night, and all of a sudden none of the power works. Like, I don't know, what's your natural reaction? I think that man probably did everything in his constitutional rights, and they just killed him. They could have announced their presence. They could have not done it at 6 a.m. They could have presented a warrant that they allegedly had, right? But instead, they're just killing law-abiding citizens. It's very interesting. And I don't mean to hit you with doom and gloom this morning. This is just what was on my mind because that's what I watched, and that's my fault. We'll come back with something much lighter this evening, I promise. We're going to have some fun this evening. But these things matter. These things matter to me. It bothers me a ton, especially if I'm paying taxes. This should be of paramount importance to me. If you're paying taxes, this should be of paramount importance to you because you're paying for this stuff to happen. You're paying for these copper mines to destroy communities. You're paying for the ATF to do their job improperly, and I'm not, obviously we don't get to choose where our tax dollars go. We're just required to pay them, right? But I mean, this is a gross affront to freedom everywhere, in my opinion. It's gross misuse. The Bisbee deportation, where the mines took residents of Bisbee that disagreed with the mines and just put them on a train and dropped them off in nowhere, New Mexico. Wow. That kind of stuff makes me super duper mad. Have a great day. Love it. You don't say, Davey. I wonder what the future holds for me and my dad, I wonder. Regardless, I'm going to be here. Hey, Mara, how you doing? Barbie says, had 2 miners in the family that worked underground in nickel and uranium. Both died of related illness. I used to live in uranium mining town. They turned into retirement town when mine closed. Interesting. How interesting. They chose to turn it into a retirement town. Ironic. Ironic. Let's get some ones for Patty as well. For our very own Patty Collins. I bet it does, Patty. I'm sorry to hear all that. Nicola E. says, having a really tough time with my family at the moment. Had to step back. It was all too much. It's not gone down well. I'm so sorry to hear that, Nicola. Let's get some ones for everyone that needs it. Something tells me today is going to be one of those days. And if you're out there and you're experiencing hardship today, we are with you. We're thinking of you and we're pulling for you. Lifeboat. You know? I think you do a great job of keeping the sense of humor, Patty. Although I don't get to see you all the time. When I do see you, I can see the humor in you. I can see the humor in you. Sherry, welcome in. Better late than never. Yeah, family drama is just the worst. I hate it. Technically, I guess there's not really a whole lot of drama right now. Historically, we have been a dramatic family for sure. Oh, well. Yeah, yeah, Patty, I totally was picking up on that. I feel like it's in the air today. I feel like it's not just a couple of you. I think it's all of us. We could all use some extra today. You know, I don't really have a whole lot else. Maybe we'll just hang out a little, huh? So, would you guys, out of like our fun options, trivia, games, we could even do like a pop culture, like a pop culture kind of. I don't know. We could do like themed trivia. What do you guys want to do for fun on Sundays? We don't have to do the same thing every time, but today, is there something particular you guys would like to do? Because I can set up like a themed trivia. We can do. I think bingo is probably too much work for me. I don't know if I want to make a bingo board and then like do all the mental gymnastics to make sure it's all going to line up properly. Yeah, please share a feel good story, Jennifer. Trivia pop culture. I like that one a lot too, right? Shelly, Kelly, Davey, everyone's down. Okay. If you guys, so it's easier for me to decide if I know people like it, because without that, I'm just like deciding what I want to do, which I want to do everything all at the same time, all the time, which isn't realistic. So just knowing that 3 of you want to do pop culture trivia makes it very easy for me to decide, you know? And that's why I ask, because I need help sometimes deciding. Are you guys all East Coasting? Jelly, super jelly over here. Have a great day, Barbie. Good luck with your endeavors. Funny story to get us lolling. Probably. I probably do. I wonder. I wonder. You know, funny story on the spot isn't working out for me. I'm pretty good under pressure, Brazy. I don't know what's going on, but I don't think I have. I'm not quick on the quick draw funny today, or this moment, I guess. A month ago, I got a call from a woman I didn't know. Come to find out, she is the adoptive mother of twins whose birth mother was my husband's daughter. Follow so far? Yes. That is not the easiest thing to follow, but I think that you laid it out pretty crisply. I'm with you. That's heavy. I bet you the second part could go one of two ways. It could be even heavier, or it could just be the light that we all await to part the clouds. Let's see. Cue the Jeopardy music. No, Patty, but every time I drive by it, I think of you and your pancakes or your crepes. I can't remember what you had sent me a picture of, but the fruity tooty killer cakes. Every time I drive by it, I totally think of you, and I'm like, maybe we should eat there. It hasn't happened yet, but it will. I guarantee it. Jennifer Folsom says, I found that I have 2 step grandchildren who are graduated from high school Memorial weekend. They invited me to attend. Wow, look at that. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, that's super cool, Jennifer. You gonna go? Are you excited? New family members? New accomplishments? New celebrations? I guess I should ask, how do you feel about this, Jennifer? It's got to be a lot to take in, but I feel like this is an exciting thing. So I met my grandchildren for the first time. Wow. Heck yeah, Jennifer, that's great. Fruity Pebbles French toast. I knew it was something like that. Had a blast. Fantastic. That's awesome. My graduation was interesting. My graduation was colorful. I don't know if this will make you guys laugh, Brazy, but you want to hear an interesting story from my past? It's colorful. Not my shiniest moment. What do you say? We could do that. Peggy, no love. What's going on? So I did the first 3 years of my high school, freshman, sophomore, junior, in California, and then I moved to Chicago. My mom sent me to live with my uncle, so I did my senior year in Oswego East was the school. Oswego East in Oswego, Illinois. Technically, I guess we were living in Aurora, but graduation day. So I don't know if y'all remember my qualifying story. When I first started doing this with you guys, I kind of qualified myself and gave you a brief rundown of my story. My uncle dropped me off at the homeless shelter on my 18th birthday, and it wasn't exactly my 18th birthday. There was some other stuff that had happened, right? But I mean, the end situation was the same. I ended up being dropped off at the homeless shelter by my family. And I wasn't graduated yet. My birthday's in February, and the end of the senior year was like May or something like that, right? So I had some schooling to get through if I wanted to graduate. And now I didn't have a way to get to school. I didn't, everything changed, right? So my dean at the school, they had deans for the students or whatever. My dean set up a bus to pick me up from the homeless shelter every morning. And if I wasn't awake at a certain time, they would just leave without me. So like I had this friend that would get me up for the bus every day, so that I would make it to school or whatever. And I ended up graduating somehow, some way. I graduated out of the homeless shelter. And on the graduation day, I don't know why we went to walk. I don't know why that was significant. Maybe it was just something to do, something fun we could do. I don't know. But I had earlier in the year gotten a front of weed from a guy at school. And if you're not familiar, what that means is I didn't have to pay for it immediately. I was supposed to pay for it when I sold it, right? That was the deal. So he gave me some weed, and my commitment was to pay him for it when I turned the weed into money. So fast forward, I don't know when that was. That was like way earlier in the school year. Oops, exactly, Patty. Oops. Fast forward to graduation day. I had forgotten about this. I did not pay this guy. The stuff he gave me was garbage. I couldn't sell it. I ended up throwing it away. But he, as far as he was concerned, I owed him money. And I didn't know about, I wasn't being homeless and going to school. I wasn't in the normal circles anymore. I wasn't, I bet you he was having a hard time finding me. And unbeknownst to me, but he was looking for me. We went to graduation, we walked, and then we got out of there. But the story goes that this guy, his name was Mark. Mark and all his older brothers were at graduation looking for me, and they were going to beat me up. In fact, I have close friends that told me that they bumped into him and his brothers and whatnot. But I never saw him, not once. And I walked on the stage. I did the whole thing, the whole time, unbeknownst that there was a bunch of people there trying to beat the daylights out of me. So that was kind of interesting, kind of a fun story. He never saw me again. I don't know if he saw me that day when I was graduating or walking or whatever in front of the school, but I didn't see him ever again. Kind of an interesting story. I know that was a little anticlimactic. In the past, that punchline was better because we were angsty young punks, and that end point, I guess, was meaningful because we were little hellions. But East Texas Baptist University, let's go. That's some success right there. That sounds like education to me. Well, I'm glad the twins are okay. How's their mom doing now, Jennifer? If you don't mind me asking. Yeah, your news was exactly what we needed, Jennifer. You know, I do have lots of stories, but I never spend the time to find out what they are. I could sit here and write down stories for a while, and we would have material for days, I bet. This was not Peggy. I must have been 17, 18, right? Around the time the story was told, because I was graduating high school. I didn't hit the rock for the first time until 30, 31. I did some cocaine when I was homeless in Colorado, which was immediately following my graduation, but not a ton. So I had done blow. Pretty soon after that, I tried blow for the first time, but I didn't smoke crack until almost 12 years later. Only a couple years ago or a year ago. It's hard. That's one thing. Like, I feel like I have burned away my memories of that time, but I know it was in the last couple years. I guess I've been sober for a year and 3 months and change. So I'm not entirely sure how long I spent smoking crack. I'm not entirely sure when I started. I'm not entirely sure. Like, I know for certain when I stopped because it was on my birthday and I know my sobriety date, right? But I don't know how long I was doing that. I don't know how long I was wasting away. I think it was less than a year, but it very well may be a very different number than that. So, but yeah, no, this was far, far before that, Peggy. Thanks for asking for context. So my birthday's on the 21st, and I went on a bender on my birthday, 2023. And then on the 24th, I woke up and called my dad and told him what was going on. That was the beginning right there. The 24th. I just went back to bed and didn't do anything, and would not again till present. Still not doing it. I'm 32, Peggy. Am I 32? Yeah. 1992, February 21st. That's my birthday. And also, Peggy, hello. I don't know if I've ever said hello to you. Welcome in. Fantasia is a great flick that I'm a huge fan of. Oh, rest in peace, Jennifer. I'm sorry to hear that. Much love, Patty. I could use some more coffee myself, I tell you what. I have a funny, I don't know if it's funny. I have a use story from, you say Stockton? No, Sacramento. Was it Stockton or Sacramento? I feel like it was Sacktown. I was on a Greyhound bus to go visit my dad, or I was on a Greyhound bus going home from visiting my dad one time. I don't know how old I was. I was in high school. I was still living in California, so I was either a freshman, a sophomore, or a junior. One of the three. And I had this layover in Sacramento for like a couple hours at midnight. And, there's no one in there. I mean, there's some people in there, but really it was like a ghost town. So I was just in the smoking section, just chain smoking, waiting for the time to get on the bus. There's not a whole lot to do at midnight in Sacramento. I don't know if you know, but there was this other guy there, and we started chopping it up in the smoking section, and he ended up offering me a weed brownie, and he gave it to me, and I ate it, and that was like almost like a terrible decision. I lost my ticket like 4 times. It was in my pocket every time. I was acting out of sorts so much that like the security took me into like a back room. It looked like an interrogation room. It was so weird. And they were like, "What are you on?" And I said, "Dude, I just ate a brownie. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get home. Please don't, XYZ." And they let me get on the bus. And I like fell asleep on the bus and woke up at home. Super weird, super strange experience. But that brownie was way too strong. That brownie was not the business. I probably have a ton of stories of times I thought that doing a substance was going to be a good idea, and then it ended up being wildly the other way, like wildly a bad decision in so many ways. I probably have a ton of those stories. I don't know the benefit of those stories, other than they're just simply not glorifying use, but like that is definitely a recurring theme in my life where I was like, "Hey, let's do this," and then doing this was a bad plan. Welcome back, Lori. I'm not a big fan of crowds either, I have to say. Well, I think that might be it for me today, guys. I'm going to try and make some stuff up. You guys seem like you're having a really good meetup, so I don't want to cut you off. Let's see. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a difference for us. I feel like the Admiral will most likely feel better eventually, and he will be back. So don't count him out. I know that he loves this like I love this, and he cares about this like I care about this. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I just think he needs a day off. And, maybe one day we can get him to take a day off before he needs it, and then it won't be so dire. Something that I struggle with as well. So, it's not rocket science, but it's definitely not it's not elementary math either. So it's a skill we have to learn. It's something that we're definitely not born with. So I have faith. Don't count out the Admiral. He will be here. Honestly, I think it would be cool if he took another day off, but I am not the boss. So, well, I shouldn't say that. I'm not the boss of him. He gets to do what he wants. Just flying around, visiting y'all, yakking it up. Just chat. Not that there's anything wrong with that, Davey. Have a good day, Davey. Much love. Much love, everybody, crew members everywhere. I appreciate you guys who make this thing do what it does. Building teepees is really cool. When I first started going to Burning Man, that was one of my big inspired ideas, was to make teepees. Super neat, super duper neat, super easy too. As long as you have the material and the know-how, maybe some helping hands. Who are we talking about, Nicola? I'm going to scroll up and find out. I saw someone carrying a hoop up the stairs in my apartment complex the other day, and I had to force myself to not investigate. It's a little creepy, Mike. Just let them live their life. Let them have a hoop. If you bump into them again, you can say something, right? Don't rubberneck and try and figure out where they live. That's dumb, But I got so excited. I was like, oh, my people. Davey shall do what it does and get her done. I'm so fascinated by Native culture, but I don't know a whole lot. My buddy Taji was given his name by a Lakota tribe member, and I don't know what Taji means in Lakota or to the Lakota people, but I'm jealous. I want a Lakota name. But I don't think that's a very becoming way to go about that. Pronouncing that I want one. Welcome back, Scoob. I think I am going to get out of here, y'all. I'm sorry you just showed up, Scooby, but I was on the way out. What is an indigenous marker, Davey? We've had all this native talk today, and Izzy's nowhere to be seen. Shout out to my friend Izzy. I hope she's doing well. I'm sure she is. She has a way of being well. We survived, idiot drivers. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, heck yeah, Peggy. That's awesome. I saw Izzy last night, so no sweat. She's probably just working hard. I know that she's been in the office lately, and she's been doing lots of stuff. She's just been kicking butt and taking names as a regular general rule. So I assume she's doing well. I definitely saw her yesterday. Davey says a tree and stone arrangement. Izzy's uncle is helping me figure it out. Interesting. See, straight from the best friend. She's with the kiddo. All right. On that note, I'm totally getting out. I want a super cool sign off, but I'm not Captain Planet. I'm just Mike, so we could just do it like we normally do. I will be back this evening at 5 p.m. I think we're going to do pop culture trivia. I'm going to set some stuff up. Cindy Plumley, hey. And now that I'm thinking about it, pop culture trivia, we're doing current pop culture, right? Because we're all in the present moment. We're all current. I guess we can throw in some old pop culture stuff that we all also know of. This will be very telling. I wonder if I will choose the right pop culture devices or not. I wonder if I'll choose stuff that nobody cares about. We'll see. We'll have to see. I'll get some backup. We'll get a bunch of topics and set us up for success. It'll be fun. So yeah, we'll do trivia tonight, and I believe the Admiral's going to come on at 7:30 p.m. and do his normal thing. But I'm going to go ahead and say that I reserve the right to. I reserve the right for the Admiral to take a day off whenever, last minute, because I think that's the only way that he can at this point. So that's all right. If he needs a day, we're going to give him a day. He loathes taking a day, but I think he'll be here this evening. Much love, everyone. Brazy Girl, Davey, Mara, Jennifer Folsom, everybody out there in the crew. Peggy, buttering the husband's muffin. You guys have a wonderful Sunday, all right? Don't work too hard. Today is for family. Today is for relaxing. Today is for love, self and otherwise. See you soon.